Here's some big news to go over today is the Toronto Blue Jays have made a new trade as they have acquired yet another pitcher. We're going to break down that exact move, discuss who he is and what this means going forward, as well as multiple huge Jays updates, including some surprising updates. This is the day where not only Max Scherzer is starting for the Toronto Blue Jays, but we have some updates surrounding some more reinforcements that are on the horizon, folks. Ton to go over today. Before we can do it all, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. You guys have been absolute beasts with the support, so make sure to continue to support by hitting that subscribe button, folks. Ton to go over today. The unfortunate reality is there is still a lot of players injured for the Toronto Blue Jays, but the fortunate reality is the good news. Max Scherzer makes his, not debut, but his second start of the season tonight, and it's going to be an electric one. But we have a bunch of updates to go over, including some things surrounding tonight's game. And folks, late into the night, we also have an update surrounding Dalton Varsho. Late in the night last night, the Toronto Blue Jays acquired starting pitcher Robinson Pena from the Marlins per source, and Colby Martin was going to Miami. So in the depths of the evening, the Jays pulled off a minor league deal here, but they actually acquired someone who isn't horrible. And once again, like I've been covering a lot of these transactions, recently because there's been a lot of movement. The Jays have been getting some decent arms, and ever since they acquired Eric Lauer, Brendan Little, all these guys, you cannot underrate the moves that they make anymore, right? And I have full faith that Ross Atkins and a lot of these trades, some of them, of course, are pure depth pieces. But the amount of times where the Jays acquire someone who we think, okay, he's just not ever going to play for the big league team, he's just depth, and they actually end up making an impact on the Jays has happened too many times now, especially for just this season itself, for me not to, be a little bit excited. So they got rid of Colby Martin, but they got Robinson Pena. Now, this is interesting. And of course, always good to add to AAA, depth. And he's been decent in AAA this season. So he's played one game with the, the Marlins Billy Club, gave up a run in one inning. But you can see this here, a 3.47 ERA in Jacksonville. The season before put up, okay numbers. And I'm not saying this guy is going to be one of those, stories where he is like Brendan Little, where he gets acquired for nothing and the cash considerations and turns into a very valuable, to elite reliever there for a period. But there's a chance that he ends up, being a decent depth starter, down the line. And the Jays have a lot of those, and now they don't have a lot of those at the AAA level with Jake Bloss, all these injuries that have happened. But to be able to get a guy now in a trade who can help provide AAA depth and also be ready to come up if needed is something. And of course, it's nothing too crazy, but it is something. And of course, keep you up to date with every piece of news. So they made a new trade. Just wanted to give you that because it happened late last night. So I'm sure a lot of you guys were probably asleep when this happened. So little update for you all there. Let me know down below if you're, have any stories about him, if you're familiar with him, because he's an interesting player. But let's dive into some of the other updates now. We have a few different things here. So let's start with the big one surrounding Alek Manoah, which is very crucial. So Alek Manoah is dealing with Tommy John surgery through 25 pitches over a one-inning live bullpen session in Florida on Tuesday. It went really well. Velo was up to 95, best he's felt in a while. Next step in Manoah's buildup will be a multiple inning live BP. Folks, this is very, very, very good news. I will have a full video covering, Alek Manoah as he inches closer and closer, but this is the best update we've gotten in like a year. And of course, for Alek Manoah, he's had a very up and down career. And we think back to his last couple starts, he was finally looking like himself before the Tommy John injury and the surgery that he had. He was finally looking like himself again. Obviously a fantastic first couple years. His rookie year, striking out Aaron Judge in his first start ever at Yankee Stadium. Then, of course, his sophomore year, Cy Young finalist, top 3 in voting, I believe it was. 2, of course, struggling, gets sent down, finally comes back up. Tommy John surgery. And I think ultimately getting back to 95 miles an hour, there were times with the big league team when he was struggling where he wasn't even touching 95 miles per hour. So this is an extremely positive outcome for Alek Manoah and his bullpen session. And folks, reinforcements are on the way. Not only are the Jays, rolling a little bit, we'll dive into standings here in a minute, but they are rolling. They're rolling in a way that is setting themselves up for success because you have a lot of reinforcements coming. Alek Manoah, Dalton Varsho, we have an update on a bit of an unfortunate setback there. Anthony Santander eventually. I mean, you have guys who could also come up and play at the big league level, maybe even out of the bullpen, like guys like Ricky Tiedemann, Jimmy Garcia, a big update that we have to go over today. And let's dive into it now. In his Florida Complex League rehab outing, 1 inning, 1 hit, 3 Ks, would help the Jays bullpen a lot, sliding him alongside Hoffman, Rodriguez, Little in late innings. Like Jimmy Garcia has been absolutely, rolling as of late, and he is seemingly going to be returning very soon as well. And of course, with Max Scherzer today, there's going to be some Jays moves that are coming as a result of that. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with what those are, but I would assume it's going to be Paxton Schultz sent down or DFA'd, and then Max Scherzer coming up. That would be my guess. There is, of course, still the possibility that they DFA Chad Green. I know everybody wants Chad Green DFA'd. He had a horrible performance yesterday. Again, gives up a 3-run moonshot. I'm ready to be done with the Chad Green experience, but I think they value his major league experience more than Paxton Schultz's, depth, I guess, long relief. So I think that's why they're going to pick Paxton Schultz to DFA or, send down. Obviously, they need to open up a 40-man roster spot. So it's going to be interesting there, and we'll keep you up to date with it. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. Again, Jimmy Garcia, once he gets called back, there's going to have to be another move. So 2 moves are going to have to be made here. So for all you guys who are Chad Green haters and want him gone, which I agree with, I'm also a Chad Green hater at this point. He's terrible. Get him out of Toronto. He'll probably be DFA'd when Jimmy Garcia returns, I would assume. But again, Mason Flaherty's been struggling a bit, so maybe they just give him some time in AAA. Like, there's a lot of different areas that they can go with it here. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Again, huge update for the 2 pitchers, most notably Alek Manoah. The first update in a while that is extremely not only encouraging, but it is very crucial and just in general a very exciting thing. 95 miles per hour, folks, is nothing to scoff at, especially coming off of a Tommy John surgery. And of course, with the way that Tommy John has, developed over the past few years, it's gotten a lot better. You can now do partial reconstructions of Tommy John. You can do full Tommy John. The rehab process is better. People come back dominant from Tommy John surgery. Of course, it's always better to not have it happen, but it is what it is at this point, and he's absolutely dominant. He is a beast. I'm super excited to see Alek Manoah come back. Always been a supporter of his. Dalton Varsho, an update in his front, felt some tightness in his hamstring while running for the bases yesterday. He still hit and did everything else. We'll see how things are today, but the plan is to keep ramping him up ahead of a minor league rehab assignment. So this is some negative news, and it's been filled with positive news. The anticipation for Max Scherzer start tonight, the anticipation for Alek Manoah, Dalton Varsho, Jimmy Garcia. Of course, within all that is Dalton Varsho himself experiencing some tightness. Now, if you think back to before he came back from his injury the first time, he also experienced some tightness and just came back like a week later. I think he's probably going to be returning very, very soon here. I'd like to see him back for the Yankees series, June 30th, I believe it is, or the series after the Red Sox into July 1st, the Canada Day series at home. I'd like to see him back for that. I'd like to see him back for, these crucial games, even the Red Sox series. Don't rush him, though. He's valuable. The Jays have a lot of options they can use. Addison Berger, Nathan Lucas, specifically in center field. So it's going to be interesting there. And also, Ryan Burr, he pitched in Buffalo yesterday. And also, following more up on Jimmy Garcia, he's pitching tomorrow. So a ton of different things are happening here, folks. Let me know if you're excited for Dalton Varsho to return. Again, a bit of a setback, which is unfortunate in general. But at the same time, he still hit and did everything else. So I think he's going to be fine. He will be just fine. And at the end of the day, folks, reinforcements are on the horizon. And also, again, another update on Jimmy Garcia. He's pitching over the weekend. He's pitching tomorrow in single A. And if he goes to AAA, it will be over the weekend to, of course, rehab fully. So, folks, things are picking up. A ton of moves are going down. You have trades coming in left and right late into the night. You have updates left and right. And you also have the Jays 2.5 games back of the AL East lead, which is not only crazy, absolutely electric. The Jays are able to pull this off and were able to be such, again, they haven't pulled anything off yet, but being able to pull off the fact that they were as down, I think, was it 4 games below 500, maybe even 6. I think it was 4 games below 500 at their worst to now in the AL Beast be able to be just a few games back of the AL East. Folks, your guys' support's been unbelievable. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on all this. You guys are beasts. Cheers.